Excellent. So you're ready with your book or your block. We're going to be digging into the hips today. So you can start laying down on your back. We're starting easy. And you can lay on your back any way you want. So you can rest with your knees bent, or maybe you'll prefer to stretch your legs. Let your feet flipping apart, or maybe you'll prefer to cross your ankles. Arms alongside of your body or hands onto your belly. And then don't hesitate to make few last adjustments like tucking your pelvis, rolling your shoulders, tucking your chin. And once you have found your comfort, I invite you for a deep inhale in. Inhale with your nose and take the biggest inhale you have taken in the entire day so far. And then when you exhale, release all the air out. And gently you can bring all of your attention to your body. And you can start checking in with your body. How is it doing today? How is your body doing right now? And then in the middle of the stillness, maybe you'll start noticing your breath. And the next inhale, maybe you'll send it down to your feet and you can start wiggling around your toes and circling your ankles. The next breath, maybe you'll imagine you're sending it to your hands and you'll start wiggling around your fingers and circling your wrists. Next inhale, maybe you'll stretch your arms above your head. And as you exhale, you can bend your knees and hug your knees to your chest. As you do so, I invite you to relax your hips, relax your shoulders. Maybe you will want to rock from side to side a few times. Noticing how does it feel in your back. And then at your own time, whenever you're ready, you can bring your feet down to the floor and you can walk your feet as wide as the mat. And from here, I invite you for 2 or 3 windshield wipers on each side, dropping your knees to the floor to the right and then over to the left, trying to touch with both knees down to the floor, but it's probably not going to happen. That's okay. But just as you move gently from side to side, notice how does this feel in your hips, your thighs, your lower back. And then you can come back to the center. Hug your knees to your chest once again. And you can rock up seated. You can rock a few times if that's what you like. Otherwise, you can just rock up directly seated into any kind of comfortable cross-legged position. And from here, I invite you to hold onto your knees with your hands. And next up, when you inhale, you roll your shoulders back, you squeeze your shoulder blades, you send your chest forward, nose and chin up. And then you exhale to round your back, tuck your pelvis under, spread your shoulder blades apart, and really pull back into the space back behind you. And then again, inhale, roll your shoulders back, squeeze your shoulder blades, open the chest, and then exhale, round your back. And look for length in your spine. And then a few more on your own of these seated cat-cows. Feel free to close your eyes if that feels good. And every time, try to go a little bit further. A little bit deeper into the stretch. Excellent work. Next time, whenever you find yourself exhaling, I invite you to stay there. keep that right hand now on your knee. And when you would inhale, you would once again send your chest forward, but this time lean over towards the right and reach with your left arm up and over your head. Yes. And then you exhale to bring the left hand back down onto your left knee, round your back. And then you would inhale, liberate your right hand. Again, arch your back, send your chest forward, but reach this time with your right arm up and over your head to the left side, stretching the right side of your torso. And then exhale, both hands down once again. Yes. And then 2 more on each side. Still seated cat-cows, but kind of modified. Noticing how does it feel in your back. Trying to keep the whole time your hips anchored down to the floor. And then at your own time, whenever you're ready, next time you come back with both hands down to your knees. Slowly you can start rolling up, seated. And directly walk your hands back behind you and walk your feet as wide as the mat. And once again, I invite you for 2 or 3 windshield wipers, dropping your knees from one side to another, trying to touch the knees down to the floor, noticing how does it feel in your hips here. And then whenever you have done the same number on each side, 2 or 3, I invite you to come back again to the center. And from there, you would sweep your legs back behind you. And you would find your first tabletop. Both hands underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. And you can take a few classic cat-cows. Arching for your back on your inhale, rounding your back on your exhale. Looking for space in your chest on your inhale. Squeezing the shoulder blades together but keeping the shoulders down. And then looking for length in your spine on your exhale, really bringing the chin towards your chest, pelvis under. And then a few more on your own, just noticing all the sensations and adding there whatever movement that will feel good as extra. Maybe like a circle with your head, circle with your chest, your hips. And then at your own time, whenever you're ready, you can press both hands down, tuck your toes under, lift your knees, and find your first downward facing dog. So you can walk your down dog, walk your feet as far back as you need to have enough space for you to stretch your back. And then feet as wide as your feet as wide as your hips. And you want to keep your knees bent so that you can really work on lengthening your spine first, pressing the hands down above and kind of behind your head so that your head can pass in between your biceps. And then you want to relax your shoulders, squeeze your shoulder blades, open your chest, open your armpits. And then at your own time, whenever you're ready, next deep inhale, I invite you to glide your right leg up. Kick it as high up to the ceiling as you can. From there, you want to bend your right knee and kick the right heel back behind you. Open your hips and your belly button to the right. Notice how this feels in your hips. And then next inhale, lift your right foot up to the ceiling. Exhale, step your right foot forward next to your right hand. And then left heel goes down onto the floor, toes open out to the left side. Yes. From here, your right elbow is going to go onto your right knee and you're going to be pressing your big toe, pinky toe and heel down to the floor, pressing the knee out, while you will be now trying to squeeze the right hip underneath you. Left hip opens, left shoulder opens, left arm reaches up towards the ceiling or over your head. Extended side angle. Stay low in that right hip. One more breath. Excellent. And then when you exhale, you would bring your left hand to meet your right. And it's going to look like you're grabbing a big ball. You want to hold that ball as you travel through the center, rounding your back, keeping your legs exactly as they are. Nothing else is moving. And then you reach with your left hand for your left thigh and straighten your right arm up above your head to the other side to reach back behind you. But stay low in that right hip and keep pressing the right knee out. Yes. And then you exhale to once again grab that big ball and travel to the front. Right elbow on top of your right knee and reach with your left arm up and over your head. Yes. And you will do this 2 more times in your own rhythm, using the exhale to transition, and then inhaling to stretch, and then exhaling to transition, and inhaling to stretch, while the whole time you keep on focusing on opening that right hip forward and pressing the right knee backward. Excellent work. And the next time you would find yourself with your right elbow on top of your right knee, take your time, arrive. I invite you to take one last deep inhale there, feel for length, and then exhale to windmill both hands down. And you can step back again into your downward facing dog. Walk it off, feel the right side, feel the left side, and then you can choose if you want to reset in your vinyasa, this planking sequence, or a cat-cow. That's tabletop arching and rounding your back that we have done 5 minutes ago. We're going to meet in the downward facing dog in a breath or two. For the left side, whenever you're ready, inhale, glide the left leg up, kick it as high as you can. Then bend your left knee and kick your left heel over towards the right side, opening your hips and your belly button to the left. Notice how this feels in your hips. And then inhale, left foot back up to the ceiling. Exhale, left foot forward. Next to your left hand, right heel goes down onto the floor. Toes of your right foot open to the right. Now it's going to be your left elbow that goes on top of your left knee. And you want to bring that big toe, pinky toe, and heel down onto the floor of the front foot. Press the front knee, the left knee out, while you scoop that left hip underneath you and forward. As you open your right hip, right shoulder up towards the ceiling, and you reach up for the ceiling and or over your head. Excellent work. One more big breath. And then exhale to bring that right hand meet your left. Grab that big ball and then travel through the center until you reach with your right hand onto your right thigh and with that left arm back behind you. And then whenever ready, exhale. Once again, grab that big ball, travel through the center, bring your left elbow on top of your left knee once again, and reach with your right arm up and over your head. And then 2 more times, following your own rhythm of your own breath, exhaling for transition, inhaling for reach and finding length. But the whole time, you're staying active in that stance, pressing your both feet down, pressing your left knee out, and scooping that left hip under as much as you possibly can. Excellent work. We're going to meet with that left elbow on top of your left knee for a last breath or two to really find the maximum length. You take your time. And then whenever ready, next exhale, you can windmill both hands down and step back again into your downward facing dog. Excellent work. Feel the right side, the left side. And then you choose once again, vinyasa, the sequence that I'm going for here, or your cat-cow. What would feel better? That's basically the choice that you want to be making. We're going to meet in the downward facing dog in a breath or two. And I invite you to stay there for 3 to 5 big breaths, trying to clean it up a little bit. So press all 10 fingers down into the floor and the knuckles underneath the fingers. And then you want to press above and behind your head. You want to squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then you want to relax your head. Maybe you will nod yes, no, maybe. Relax your shoulders. Keep your hips high. And see if you can straighten your knees 1 millimeter now. Notice how that feels. Excellent work.
Whenever ready, next inhale, glide your right leg up. Kick it as high as you possibly can. And then bend your right knee, kick that right heel over behind you. Open your hips and your belly button to the right. Feel how this feels now in those hips. And then inhale, right foot up. Exhale, right foot forward. Left heel goes down onto the floor, toes open towards the left. Once again, we're going for extended side angle, and now it might be the time for your book. So first up, I invite you to bring the book on the kind of like middle way setting, if you can. And you would place your hand on top of the book like this. So it's on the inside of your right foot. From here, same principle, pressing the right foot down, pressing your right knee out, scooping that right hip under as you open your left hip and left shoulder up. And you reach with that left arm up to the ceiling while you keep pressing the right knee out. Press your right big toe down into the floor and press your right knee out a little bit more. Yes. One last big breath in here. And then exhale, stay where you are, just straighten your legs. And maybe you will need to lift the book on a higher setting so that you have a little bit more space. Maybe you will need to reach with your hand for your shin. I need you to be able to scoop that right hip underneath so that your buttocks doesn't stick out. You want to scoop that right hip underneath. Excellent. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Opening that left hip. Pushing forward, open that right hip. One last breath. And then exhale, you rebend your front knee. You reach once again with your right hand for the book. But this time, feel free to adapt. Go on a lower setting. We're going to be digging deeper into that right hip. So go on a lower setting on that book. Press your right hand down on the book. Sit a little bit lower in that right hip. And then once again, press your right knee out. Scoop your right hip under over. Left arm up. Up and over your head. Sit low and squeeze the glutes on your right side. 1 or 2 more big breaths. I know this one is a challenge. Press your left pinky toe into the floor. Don't let it slide. Deep inhale, press the right knee out. And then exhale, stretch your right knee. You're stretching into a triangle. Either you keep that right hand on the book, or you place the book on a higher setting, or you reach with your hand for your shin. Once again, scooping the right hip under, reaching with your left arm up and over. Last 2 breaths. Excellent work. And then at your own time, whenever ready, deep inhale in. Exhale, rebend the front knee. And this time, I invite you to get rid of the book completely. And you will keep your right hand on the floor, plain. And you either stay there, or maybe you will bend your elbow to try to get your either triceps to your knee or try to get your shoulder to your knee. Once again, you will need to sit even lower in that right hip. And you will want to keep pressing that right knee out. Now you will be able to basically press and lean a little bit with that elbow, sorry, not elbow, your shoulder into that knee. Yes. And from here, you will be scooping that right hip open and reaching with your left arm up. Yes. 2 more big breaths in here, really pressing the right knee out, pressing that right hip forward. Excellent work. Deep inhale. And then exhale, release. Both hands down. And you can find back again your downward facing dog. Excellent work. Feel the right side, feel the left side. The right hip, the left hip. And then choose in what kind of sequence do you want to reset? The vinyasa or the cat-cow? We're going to meet in the downward facing dog in a breath or 2. Excellent work. The left side, the easy side. Whenever ready, inhale the left leg up. From there, bend the left knee and kick the left heel over back behind you, opening your hips and your belly button to the left. Noticing how this feels in your hips now. And then whenever ready, left foot up to the ceiling. Exhale, left foot forward next to your left hand. Yes. Right heel goes down onto the floor, toes open to the right. And now grab your book, your block, and put it on the middle setting. Right hand, sorry, not right, it's your left. Left hand on the block, on the support, and you press the right foot. I keep saying right, it's a left. Press the left foot down, press the left knee out, and scoop the left hip under so that you can open your right hip, right shoulder, and reach with your right arm up. And you stay here for 2-3 breaths, opening that left knee back and opening that left hip forward. Yes, deep inhale, excellent work. And then exhale, straighten that left knee. You're finding your triangle. Maybe the hand on the book block is going to be too low, so don't hesitate to reach with your hand a little higher for your shin. Scoop that left hip underneath. Don't let your butt stick out. Excellent work. One more breath. And then exhale. Bend that left knee once again. Back again into your side angle. This time go with that book or block on the lower setting. So you press the left hand down, press your left foot down, press your left knee out. Sit lower in that left hip so that you have easier time scooping it under. And then opening the right hip, opening the right shoulder, opening the right arm up. And you stay here for 2 more breaths. Pressing the left knee out, pressing the left hip forward, keeping your right pinky toe on the floor. Excellent. Deep inhale. And then exhale, straighten that left knee, finding your triangle. And maybe keeping the hand on the block, or walking the hand a little bit higher, wherever you will be able, not to stick your butt out, and keep scooping the left hip under. 2 more breaths. Yay. Opening the chest, the right shoulder a little higher. And then exhale, one last, rebend the left knee. And this time get rid of the prop. Put it aside and bring your left hand completely down onto the floor. And either you're going to keep that left arm straight, or maybe you're going to bend your elbow a little bit. Either you press your triceps to your knee, or you try to get your shoulder to your knee. And you're really trying to press the hand down, the foot down, press the knee out, and help yourself with that shoulder, with that arm, to press it out while you try to sit lower in that left hip and open it more forward, and you reach with your right arm up. 2 breaths. Slow, deep breaths. One last inhale, hips forward, the left hip forward, and then exhale, release both hands down. And you can step back again into your downward facing dog. Walk it off. Feel the right side, the left side. How are your hips doing? And then accordingly choose whether you prefer cat, cow, or a vinyasa for transition. We're going to meet in the downward facing dog in a breath or 2. For 3 to 5 big breaths to really reset. Relax the head. Drop your heels heavy. Open your chest. And can you come back to that slow, intentional breath? Excellent work. Whenever you're ready, deep inhale, bend your knees, glance forward, and walk your feet towards the center of the mat. And then from here, I invite you to heel toe your feet apart, away out of the mat. And you would stay here in a forward fold, dropping your head heavy, dropping your shoulders heavy. Trying to bring your hands maybe on the same line in between your feet. 3 deep, slow breaths. And then whenever ready, inhale, press your both hands down, and you can heel toe your feet as wide as the mat. Your toes are going to open 45 degrees. You're going to be pressing your big toes, pinky toes, and heels into the floor. And you're going to bend your knees and you're going to squat. as low as you possibly can. Keep your heels on the floor as much as that's possible. Yes, so maybe you will need to adjust the width of the stance of your feet. Then you want to stay active, don't collapse. Stay active, pressing the feet down, squeezing your glutes to open your knees actively just by your glutes, and then bring your elbows on the inside of your knees. Then bring your hands together, and you want to bring the hands closer towards your chest, and you want to make one line with your forearms. This is again going to open your knees more. Now, pressing the feet down, pressing your knees out, can you lengthen your spine? Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Excellent work. And here, you want to stay for 3 to 5 big breaths. Pressing the knees out, pressing the hands together, and every inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhaling, softening something up. Excellent work. How is your breath now? One last deep inhale. And then exhale, release. And you can more or less gracefully sit back onto your buttocks and lean back onto your hands. Bring your feet as wide as the mat. And you can go for 2 windshield wipers on each side, just noticing all the sensations in your hips. And then whenever you're ready, you can come back to the center and you can scoop your hips to the center of the mat so that you can lay back on your back, and you would bring your right ankle on top of your left knee. From there, you bring your right arm through in between your legs, through the triangle, and you hold onto your left knee. Either hold onto the knee or the knee crease underneath. Whatever you can hold on to, I invite you to then relax back down onto the mat. Head on the floor, shoulders towards the floor, with your arms straight. And that way you're going to try to get that left shoulder closer and closer towards your left shoulder as you, every exhale, release and soften something up. And that way, you're going to have a domino effect on the target area, which is the right hip. Feel everything in your right hip, right inner outer thigh, right butt cheek. Maybe you will feel gradually the stretch kind of creeping up into your lower back. 2, 3 more big breaths wherever you are. Excellent work. One last big breath in here. And next time you exhale, you can release that left knee. Bring the left foot down to the floor. Bring the right foot down to the floor. Give yourself a moment to feel right side, left side. And then you can switch. You can bring your left ankle on top of your right knee. Bring the left arm through the triangle in between your legs and grab onto your right knee. Perfect. Either hold the knee or underneath the knee crease. And then from there, you would lean back again down onto the mat. Head on the mat, shoulders towards the mat. And you would stay here for good 5 big breaths. Relaxing your hips, relaxing your shoulders. Trying to bring that right knee closer to your right shoulder with every exhale. You don't necessarily have to pull actively. You just need to be able, keep on relaxing the shoulders down to the floor. That is what is going to create that pull, and that is what is going to create that stretch in your left hip, left inner outer thigh, left butt cheek. And notice each side is going to feel different. So maybe on this side you might want to choose a different adaptation, a different grip of the knee. Excellent work. One last big breath in here. And then you can exhale, release, bring the right foot down, bring your left foot down. Give yourself a moment to feel both hips. And I invite you to take one last or two last windshield wipers. Dropping the knees from side to side a few times. Trying to touch the floor and feeling everything that is there to feel in your hips. And then next time you come back to the center, I invite you to start settling into your final relaxation. So you can choose if you want to stay resting on your back with your knees bent, or if you would prefer to rest on your back with your legs straight. Letting your feet flipping apart or crossing your ankles. Arms alongside of your body or hands onto your belly. And then once you have found your comfort, I invite you to take a big breath in, the biggest breath of the entire practice. And then when you exhale, release all the air out. Gently, you can start bringing your attention back to your breath. And then whenever you're ready, I invite you for 3 deep, sweet, nourishing breaths to gently start waking your body up with your breath from the inside. And then whenever you're ready, you can start wiggling around your toes and circling your ankles. Wiggling around your fingers, circling your wrists. Maybe you will want to stretch your arms above your head. And when you exhale, you can relax your arms and you can stay resting on your back, or you can bend your knees and roll over to your side. Right or left, it doesn't really matter. And you can stay there. Or you can press yourself up seated. Wherever you are, wherever you have landed, I invite you to feel the contact of your body with the floor. Feel the length in your spine, inhale. And as you exhale, you can relax your shoulders, soften your face, and slowly start blinking your eyes open to come back to the room, to come back home. Thank you so much for joining.